When the U.S. hedge fund management firm Elliott Management opposed its takeover of JL Industries in 2015, Samsung C&T proceeded to sell its entire treasury holdings to KCC Corporation. Thereafter, using its newly acquired voting rights, KCC Corporation approved the merger. The fact that such a transaction was possible is owed to Korea's current laws, permitting the sale of treasury stocks with only a board resolution. Essentially, the sale of treasury stocks and issuance of new shares are one and the same, as both increase stock trade volume and secure outside funding. However, a discrepancy exists between the two according to contemporary law, and this, in turn, creates a loophole that can be used by companies to protect their management rights. Still, not all identical natures require identical legal regulations. If the positive economic impact generated from the sale of treasury stock is significant enough, considerations can be made within the legal system. Accordingly, this study examines the economic impact of the protection of management rights through the sale of treasury stock. Take, for example, a controlling shareholder who is managing two different companies in two different sectors, companies A and B. Then, an outside managing executive appears with the intent to obtain the management rights of company B. In response, in order to protect his or her managing rights, the controlling shareholder mobilizes Company A's funds to purchase Company B's treasury stocks. If the increased efficiency and reduced transaction costs gained through the integrated management of these two companies outweigh the damages caused by the sale of the treasury stocks, i.e., the losses incurred from the rush sale of shares and lost investment opportunities, then the general and minority shareholders will still benefit, even if the controlling shareholder uses treasury shares to protect his or her management rights. Additionally, if the gains, plus that from the control premium, are larger than the loss, the control shareholder will again use treasury stocks to protect his or her management rights, despite the fact the gains that can be obtained from integrated management are insufficient. In this case, only the controlling shareholder will benefit while the general and minority shareholders suffer from damages. Then, how will the sale of treasury stocks affect general and minority shareholders? Let's examine some real cases. In 2003, as foreign investors began to aggressively purchase its shares, Hyundai Elevator sold its treasury holdings to 6 white knights including KCC Corporation. However, considering that the sale was rushed, it is highly likely that the general and minority shareholders sustained damages, while the controlling shareholders reaped the benefits from maintaining their control premium. Meanwhile, in 2008, Hyundai Motor Company acquired Shinhan Securities to launch HMC Investment Securities, and upon its launch, HMC Investment Securities sold its treasury stocks to Hyundai, Kia Motors, Hyundai Mobis, Hyundai Steel, and Hyundai Amco to increase its holding stake. However, given that little synergy was expected between the affiliated companies, the transaction would have been unwelcomed by the general and minority shareholders, while it served as a prosperous opportunity for the controlling shareholders who were able to gain the management rights by rallying the funds of affiliated companies. As such, in cases where the sale of treasury stocks is used as a means to protect management rights, the policy considerations must be rational to ensure that management efficiency is enhanced, and restrictions must be enforced in cases of overprotection, which have unfavorable consequences for the general and minority shareholders.
장기적으로는 자기 주식 거래가 그 경제적 본질에 맞게 이루어지도록 법령 및 제도를 개편하여야 합니다. 그리고 자기 주식 관련 법령 및 제도가 큰 폭으로 개편되기 전이라도 일반 주주와 소액 주주의 피해를 야기하는 자기 주식 처분에 대한 규율은 시급히 마련될 필요가 있습니다. 예를 들어 감독 당국의 자기 주식 처분 심사를 도입하는 방안을 생각해 볼 수 있겠습니다. 그러나 정부의 공적인 감독보다는 시장을 통한 자율적 규율이 자리 잡는 것이 더 중요하므로 독립적인 사회이사의 역할, 일반 주주 및 소액 주주들의 손해배상 청구 등 제도 전반을 어떻게 정비할지 고민이 필요합니다.